What is going on, guys? Hi and welcome to another restream here on Zelda Speedruns 1. Today we have the Zelda Ocarina of Time item randomizer standard weekly from the EU side. And today with me is my lovely commentator, Emo Soda. Say hello.
Hey Chad, how's it going? It's Sunday morning. It's bright out. It's like, yeah, it's not dark. It's not quite dark anymore for me, but hope y'all are ready for another installment of the EU Weekly.
Well, I, for myself, just came back from work like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, I woke up good 30 minutes ago.
Whoop whoop. Yeah, great. I think everything's set up so far.
Yeah, we're starting with Song of Storms and a Spiritual Stone, so they're gonna have to complete 6 whole dungeons at the very minimum. We'll see if it's an ADC, not having to do all dungeons, but let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
Okay, so currently we have 2 more racers who need to ready up, and then we can start already. That's great. Phew. Oh well, when I'm commentating right now, I should probably also open the commentary page.
Yeah, I mean,
and not have the restream up. I don't particularly want to be in the past 10 seconds.
It's important to see what's going on. Yeah, we got some racers on for today. Got Cola, the Aeronaut, Irwin, and Goomba, all very good runners. I think out of these, Goomba is the most likely to win the whole weekly, but it was just a week or two ago that he did the same. Let's see if he can take it home today again.
Yeah, okay, so only Salty Sponge missing in the ready queue.
That's just classic Sponge.
Classic Sponge. Ah. Okay, so today we want to shoot our hammer with either the slingshot or the bow. But to do so, we need some protein, so we eat a fish, and we still need a bit more strength, which is why we need the silver gauntlets. Get strong enough to use the hammer as an arrow. New Volvagia strats. Pork. Komodo hype.
I think you meant PogChamp here.
LOL. Is Komodo hype now generally the new PogChamp?
Yeah.
LOL! That's great!
Not sure why they didn't remove the Komodo hype, but yeah, whatever, I guess.
I don't know either. It's the... Okay.
I had it for a while where it was like rotating between a random Pog emotes on Twitch, and then they finally chose a hill to die on, so. Which I don't think is bad. I think it's fine. It's a fine emote.
Okay, and now we're on the 30-second timer. So let's get hyped up about those sick tunic colors.
All right. Looks like we are starting in Kakariko, of all places. And we'll see the split here of do you do chickens or do you not do chickens at the very start of the seed when you know everyone's going to be starting here.
Whew, okay, will you put me in the picture of what settings we are currently running? Like I said, I really didn't go into OTR all that much in the last few months.
Sure. So, okay, yeah, it looks like Goomba is going to do chickens. The only person that's committing to it, which is pretty interesting. Anyway, yeah, the settings here. So, Season 4, it started a few months ago. And the current weekly settings are kind of a derivative of that, where Season 4, by the way, was free ZL as a setting, so you don't have to go hand in the letter and get Weird Egg and all that good stuff. The game expects, or not expects, but... Ooh, just saying GTG, right hand is dead.
Right hand is dead.
40 is dead.
That.
Yeah, the GTG foolish. That's a pretty good hint to get right out of the gate.
Dead.
And 30 is dead as well. Nice.
30 also dead. Okay.
Ooh, I think that was a composer grave. The chest there is also dead. Nice sometimes hint. But anyway, so Season 4, you have free ZL. So you start with the song. Any of the songs that could be on ZL. So just a random song. You have spawn points are random. Starting age is also random. So it's a 50-50, depending on if you're a child or adult. Door time's still open. And you start in a spot that has access to Temple of Time with nothing, essentially. So, ooh, nice mirror shield on child shooting in market. And the Goron tunic on chickens. Interesting.
That could be convenient, at least.
It's good for logic, you know.
Yeah.
Pretty much all fires in logic, as long as you have access to it now. So they're not going to have any questions regarding, do I go in here? Do I not? Do I play a little bit more conservatively? Ooh, ZL on Eponas as well. That opens up the well, pretty much all of it. Just needs explosives at this point for Kolo. And all the other runners here. They're just going to go to Lalmon at the very start. It's one of the best openers you can do, especially starting as a child in these settings. But anyway, the bridge as well was moved to 2 medallions in Season 4, with Gannon's Boss Key on 6. For these weekly settings right now, we're currently on 4 for Gannon's Bridge. So to get access to Gannon's Castle, you need to do 4 medallions worth of dungeons. It's pretty much the only change. There are a couple other changes as well. There's a standard announcements in the Discord, for example, where you can check out all the other settings that are on. I think the command is also updated as well. So that's basically it. You start somewhere random, you start at a random age, start with a song, and you just go.
So we basically just gave it a little bit more randomness, but nothing that is like too bad. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, it does change the way in which you route the early game. So sequencing becomes a lot more important. Your proximity to everything becomes a lot more important. But overall, you're still playing the same game, so you're going to be rushing songs for the most part. It's still very good as a strategy. And time of day is a little bit less important now as well. Also, grotto hints are not disabled on these settings, so there's a few implications with that in terms of routing. It becomes a lot better to go to field, for example, whereas in Season 4, you can just completely ignore it, and you're pretty much fine. A large majority of seeds. It'll be interesting to see the runners here, if they're going to follow Cola's example and kind of do what he's doing, or, because he's rushing a song at Composer Grave right now, and he already knows that the check there is dead as well. Or, if you're going to go to Valley after Lalman and just walk out, but looks like the Aeronaut is not doing that, at the very least. We'll see if Irwin and Goomba follow suit. Now, it's a really popular slash just kind of a solid routing decision to just go to Valley after Lalman. It's pretty safe. You can go from Valley to Lake, to Open Grotto, to Kakuri Forest, and that way you route along a lot of the checks you know you're going to do anyway in the seed, which is super helpful. You don't want to waste any time due to your decisions, right? So, but it looks like possibly only Irwin is going to go to Valley here. Now, Deku is also closed on Season 4, but we have now since reopened it for weekly settings. So it does have a pretty big implication as far as like how you route your early game. So things like Valley get a lot worse when Deku's open. Ooh, Wallet's here in Kakariko, bomb locked, as well as Requiem from Composer Grave. Now, with Requiem, too, and Goomba having that wallet, he could go buy Bomb Shoes at pretty much any point. Now, he already has 9, but it's pretty much as good as a bomb bag at this point. Looks like he's going to go to Well. Also, really strong play. He has explosives. He can full clear Well at the checks timer 7-minute mark. That's extremely early. Song of Time, yeah. Requiem.
Having something that checked then like the Well open at 7 minutes is actually pretty cool for a start.
It's a really good play. The earlier you go to Well, just the better it gets in general. It takes 5 minutes, so even if it's dead, who really cares? You got a lot of checks out of the way. Now, this does put off Kakuri Forest and the Spear Zero checks there. Deku as well. None of the runners know what medallions are which yet. So that could come back to haunt them a little bit, but I don't know. I still like this decision going to Well. I think it's super strong in general.
Oh, by the way,
yeah,
that was a convenient heart container. By the way, which tunic color do you think is the best? I'm for Goomba.
I like Aeronaut's the best. I'm a blue fan through and through.
And I think we have Cola also going into the Well now.
Yep, not really surprised by this. Looks like Irwin's taking a more, I would say, conservative approach to routing. Gonna check in Mitos here. 2 blue, please. See what the other 2 chests here are. A piece of heart. Okay. And a recovery heart. Yeah. I mean, he's gonna rope in Deku Tree with this, and then probably go Lost Woods, SFM, complete his 3 song, and then just go adult at that point, I would imagine. Still don't know if it's going to be Medallion or not. Looks like Aeronaut's in market as child at night, so fairly likely at this point to go adult, I would say. He hasn't gone Kakuri Forest already, which he hasn't, so Cola and Goomba, though, are making their way in Bomb of the Well. Nothing found quite yet. Again, it only takes about 5-6 minutes for Well, so not much of a risk that they're running here. If they find even 1 item, it pays off. Ooh, Fortress Foolish as well, one of the Deku hints there. So Fortress and GTG are both Foolish. Don't see that very often.
Rufus ladder in the well. I think Chat mentioned earlier that week skip is now allowed in weeklies.
That is correct.
But nonetheless, having Rufus ladder is definitely an upgrade.
Ooh, first Way of the Hero hint here, Lost Woods. That's a huge gain for Erwin.
Lost Woods, Way of the Hero, adding that.
Now on these settings, I think Skull Mask is an always hint, so not necessarily the best in terms of a Way of the Hero, but it's going to provide a lot of direction for them early on in the seed. As well as, not to mention, they're hitting up Deku right now, which is, ooh, nice hovers. Nice. Very strong. Yeah, it looks like Aeronaut's at the very least going to get Requiem.
And we have Nehru stuff in bottom of 12. Yay.
Not exactly what Goomba's looking for here.
I mean, he is on half a heart. Oh, we have a second bottle in bottom of 12.
Yeah. It's not the worst ever. I mean, if it turns out to be 50 Skull Seed, we haven't seen a 50 hint yet. It's going to be a big gain getting it this early. He hasn't gone to Lost Woods either, so theoretically, he could get the Soil Skulls there the first time he goes. And it doesn't look like there's going to be anything in here from the looks of it. One more check. Well, two more checks. I don't know, one more. Looking at the key count, there's only 2 more keys in basement and the other explosive chest. And yep, looks like it is dead. Meanwhile, Erwin's making their way in Deku, almost done with it. About halfway, he's in the compass room.
I have to admit, I really don't like the color of the blue color of the hearts for Irvin and Aeronaut. Because the pieces of heart are so weird looking.
Yeah, I completely missed that. Well did have letter, it looks like. It's
actually
a big
letter
deal.
and milk. Letter was behind the check in one of the corners where you use explosives to destroy some debris.
It will be out of logic for the time being, but assuming you need to go to Ice or Jabu at any point in the scene, getting it this early is going to be a big deal. Could even hand it in the same child section, so... And Erwin's heading to the basement of Deku. Still nothing found besides the hovers, but I mean, that's still pretty good. Looks like he does have a mirror shield. Yeah, I saw where that was, yeah. Never mind.
I mean, if you're already almost done with Deku, you can also just clear it. It doesn't take that much more time.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing as Bomb the Well when it's open and not closed. Except it's possibly progression, so I think it's a little bit better, but...
Oh, there's Team by a Shield on Cola.
Aeronaut's going to go into the Bomb the Well as well. Yeah, I think buying a shield is just a good decision these days, especially with random warps. You don't know when you're going to be in CAC as adult necessarily, so I'm pretty much... I just don't see it as being a mistake.
Yeah.
Especially considering you really don't need that much money in Season 4 or weeklies, for that matter. Not anymore, really. It's just not really consideration.
Yeah, I mean, there's like, you buy your 4 to 5 sticks eventually, and other than that, there isn't really all that much you would do with money.
Well, you start off with Deku Shield and max
Yeah.
stick nuts, so you really don't need money. You need about like 40 early on, and then outside of that, like overall maybe 100 more. But assuming you don't buy or find any in checks, right? You don't really have to route. Not nearly as much as Season 3. That was a lot more intensive for rupee grabbing.
Ooh, Devil Lair already subscribing to ZSR for 40 months. That's a lot. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah, looks like Cola's the first to go into River. This is out of logic with a bomb choose. Would need a scale or bomb bag. But looks like he wants to turn in that letter, and I don't really blame him. I think it's a pretty good idea.
Especially because we can also clear frogs already. So that's one out of the way.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you get 2 hints on 3 hints now, I guess, in the weekly settings. Ooh, magic!
Oh, it's magic.
Look at that.
Let's see what Deku Tree will give us. Fire Medallion.
Okay. Alright, so everyone's going to take the early progression lead, although I expect most of the runners here, and in the race at large, are probably going to do Deku and Child 1, right? Oh, scale! Look at that! That's a big deal. Now, this river's completely in logic now, because this grotto here, you can get it as adult. It's Sphere 0, so that just puts all of this into logic for Cola, except he doesn't have explosives, but that's not really... He'll find a bomb bag eventually. Ooh, Graveyard Way the hero from Kukuri Forest, the Gossip Stone there near Lost Woods.
Graveyard Way of the hero, we'll add it.
We have found Requiem so far.
Yeah.
It's kind of a nasty hint. Gannon's Way the hero.
Wow.
So, not as accessible as I was saying earlier. You need 4 medallions, so 4 whole dungeon completions before they can even go there, which kind of narrows down what kind of items you might be expecting out of that. Ooh, Death Mountain Trail, foolish as well.
Death Mountain Trail is also Way of the hero?
Foolish.
Oh, foolish. But
It's going to have a huge impact on their early routing as adult. If DC is a medallion, they're just going to rush that and then rush Goron City, I'd imagine. And Goomba does look like he's posturing toward Deku here in Milos currently. Arnott's just finishing up Bomb the Well. I think in general, I'm a huge fan of just scum your explosive checks early and Bomb the Well, reset, and just do everything else. I'm not entirely sure why Aeronaut and Goomba left it at the very end.
Milk Strats!
Gonna be feeling a little bit awkward after finding letter in here as well, but you know.
Oh, there's the
gotta
Hylian
drink some milk.
on the Ocarina game.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Hylian Shield on the Ocarina minigame in Lost Woods.
Oh.
And Lost Woods is telling you that it's Way of the hero. Nice.
How polite.
would be like, hey, I'm also important. What? Would have been great if the Way of the Hero item was in that grotto. Yeah, definitely.
Nocturne at Sari's. I think it's the first one we've seen go to Esif's child.
Irvin
Zora's River Way the Hero. Okay,
Oh.
that's a big deal. We already found magic there and a scale.
Also, Irvin just tried to buy a 40 rupee item while only having 35.
Ooh, yeah, I gotta hate it when that happens. Ooh, 50's dead.
50's dead.
And there's another Gannon's Way the Hero. So we found 2 copies of Lost Woods Gannon's, one of Graveyard and River. So logically, the seed expects you to go to River as adult, get the scale, go back as child, get your magic. Potentially. I mean, it could be something else, too. Still haven't seen a Frog's 2 hint, I don't think. But that would be separate from the Way of the Heroes anyway.
Yeah, because it's a forced one.
Still probably in the back of the runners' minds once they find that River Way the Hero. It's pretty interesting that Cola kind of just bailed on the domain play that he was kind of thinking of after finding the Magic Gain scale. Probably he's just planning to go there after doing Lost Woods. Or after Deku, possibly. Cola getting those hoppers from Deku. Not too much after Goomba. Of course, their openers have pretty much been the same. The only time difference is Goomba did chickens, and Cola went and got Child SFM check plus, I think, a couple Lost Woods checks, or I think he might have just gotten the song only. Aeronaut going into Spirit Temple. That is interesting. Opting not to go to get the song from Saria or do Deku. Still don't know if this is a medallion or not, so this is kind of high risk.
Yeah, also, if I remember correctly, Child Spirit doesn't even have all that many checks.
Well, I mean, if they get locked out by keys, so if they don't find any keys whatsoever, then yeah, it's just 2 checks. This is also out of logic completely. With Bomb Chews, there's no ranged weapon yet that they've found. Having a fun little strat here with the torches. If you have Broken Stick, you can actually just jump slash them, and with your stick on fire, it's just half length, so you do have to jump slash. Looks like Irwin's gonna go to River. This is cool. I think you saw that River Way the Hero, so I'm not really surprised by this. See how many beans he buys. Well, opting not to buy beans, okay.
What a great way to start my day. Yeah, it's always great if you have some ZSR to enjoy.
There's also a 10-pack of Bomb Chews also found in Deku Tree, so they really don't need Bomb Bag for a while here. Ooh, okay, 1 small key. So Aeronaut's probably going to continue here. They've already committed to Child Spirit. They're just going to go now and complete the rest of it, as much as they can, at least. If they get lucky, it'll be Medallion. If not, could be a stone. They do start with a stone, so it's more likely to be a Medallion. Yeah, magic was on Frogs 1.
Hi, and welcome back, Gannon.
Hello.
Hey, what's up?
I even asked, and I read the time wrong still.
That's fair enough.
Alright. What have I missed?
We found
Let
some
me
items.
fill you in.
Okay.
So we found Mirror Shield at Market, Spear 0, Goron Tunicas on Chickens. We got a 10-pack of chews at Lon Lon Ranch, as well as a wallet at Kakariko Bomb Locked in the Redead Grave. We got magic at the river.
Arrows, Spirit Temple, by the way.
Who cares?
Mm.
We got hovers and another 10-pack of chews at Deku Tree. And the way the heroes that we found so far are Lost Woods, Graveyard, Requiem was at Graveyard, Gannon's, Locked Behind 4 Medallions, and River for Magic Scale. Scale Sphere 0, so that magic's in Logic. And then GTG Fortress and Death Mountain Trail are all foolish.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not a bad start at all. And we did see a 7-minute Bomb Duel play from Goomba, as well as Kolo is not too far behind. Aeronauts in Spirit Temple has no idea if this is Medallion or Stone, so this is pretty wild in terms of routing, I think.
Nice.
Because Frogs 2 is dead now.
Also just saw Goomba pick up a Big Poe.
Yep. Probably not Way of the Hero, but it could be.
Alright, cool.
One of the only bottle contents you can find that actually can be Way of the Hero sometimes. If Hona's not there anywhere, or a bow. Because you can't empty it without actually doing the check. Key difference. Skull Mask is dead, okay.
Yeah.
Good hint with Lost Woods Way of the Hero.
Oh, Fortress is also foolish. I didn't change the command for that. Sorry.
And Aeronaut's not staying in here any longer. Looks like he found light arrows, though. So, pretty good find. Pretty lucky, I would say. I think really the kind of evolution of routing as of late to these weekly or even S4 settings is we're seeing a lot more really long child segments at the very start. I think kind of as a hedge, like, are you really going to go adult with this item set, right? You have hovers, so you can go get the Bolero check. You don't have access to SFM as adults. Nothing really to do. We can do stuff out of logic, but a lot of this thoroughness, though, I think, has been kind of in vogue. And Erwin's the only racer today that's going to Domain this early. An area that I think has really dropped in terms of popularity.
I always like Domain plays. They're not as often anymore, though. You are correct.
Ooh, nice strength there. I mean, with this kind of a start, Letter and Bomb the Well, you kind of want to capitalize on that as much as possible. Unfortunately for Erwin, he did not go Bomb the Well quite yet, so gonna have to come back here in case Jabu or Ice Cavern are required. Mostly looking at Ice Cavern here as kind of an early play for the other runners. Might be falling behind just for that. Meanwhile, we're seeing Aeronite going to Goron City as child.
Oh, and we have a slingshot on the Router's ladder spot.
Oh, that's interesting.
something.
Mostly probably for Deku Logic. Lost Woods is Way of the Hero, though, so that could pay off.
It's always interesting to see what Target in the Woods is. It feels like a forgotten check sometimes, depending on when you get Slingshot.
I wouldn't say it's forgotten, it's just bad. It's just super easy to orphan off early on.
Mm-hmm.
You're almost forced to, generally, unless the Slingshot is found within the first couple minutes.
And now we know all our medallion locations. Because Kola looked at it.
Alright. Looks like...
We have Goma, Dodongo for fire and water, Baronade for light, Morpha for spirit, Bongo Bongo for forest, and Twin Rover for shadow.
Hmm.
Okay, so fire and forest are both stones, and everything else is required, so this is really going to pay off for Aeronaut's route a little bit. He's not going to be wasting any time for his child dip in spirit. Meanwhile, Cole's going adult. I really like this a lot. I think somewhere around the 20 to 25 minute mark is generally what you want to see, especially with a bomb bag here. Like, I mean, Graveyard Way the hero. Seems risky to just not go adult at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as much as you want to be thorough in the early game, limit all of your age changes. At some point, you got to hit up Adult Cac and Graveyard and all these really early on dense locations.
Mm-hmm.
Because the longer you stay child, the more the risk you run of just overcommitting to your early route.
The blue mirror shield looks so much cooler than the original, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Giving off some pretty heavy Wind Waker vibes.
Yeah, looks great. Goron City has the big Goron sword.
Yeah, that's hammerlocked.
I think we should still be able to get it if we have explosives though, because we have Hammer.
Yeah, they'll be able to get it. It just it's not really used for logic anyway, so it's
Yeah.
not even is trying to get some money off these rocks to buy one bean.
Give me a bean.
Oh, there he goes.
Hey, there we go.
All right. Meanwhile, Aeronaut's finally getting the Nocturne from Child S from there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as far as for you, Mad Monk, what's your favorite early game route on these weekly settings?
With these weekly settings, it really depends on if you're an adult or child start.
Okay.
But I have always enjoyed the 3-song route with Valley into Lake on child.
Spicy dens there, by the way, on the Cat Cow. Spear 0. So, Dola should know by now that the dens might be usable very early on.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be locking something rather important, but we'll see. We know the Composer Grave item instead, at the very least. We got that sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good early one. I would say, for me, if it's child start, I have to go with the quote-unquote the route, is what I like to call it. So you rush the fuck out of Lon Lon Ranch. You just go straight there, unless you know you can't make time of day. And then you go to Valley, you go to Lake, you get the backleak hints, because nobody gets those. It's free info, 30 seconds for 2 hints. Then you go to Open Grotto. You go to Midos. You'll be there around the 10-minute mark. And on these settings, I don't know. Going to Deku after that seems really strong. And going to Lost Woods SFM, then just going adult around the 20-25-minute mark. If you start as adult, I think it's a lot more difficult to determine what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But for that, I would say pretty much the same thing. Just rush your songs. If you get any items out of the cat graveyard, you just pursue those slightly. But if you don't find anything of value, or you only get songs or what have you, you just go child and do the route.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Cola's in DC here. I like this play a lot. We know that it's progression already. He knows about that bomb bag. He knows it's way the hero. Making his way toward the Gannon way the hero. He'll be 2 medallions out of 4 required for that after DC here.
I have to say, we got some pretty good foolish locations today.
Yeah, they're really good in general. I also like the all caps dead on 30 skull hint in chat there.
Do we know the 5th way of the hero location already?
Not yet.
Okay.
Could be a double on one of the other areas. Currently, we've only found 2 copies of Lost Woods and Gannon, so if we had double Gannon's way the hero, that would be awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that.
Can that even happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, it can happen. In this seed, for example, since we know what the medallion layout is already, it could be like long shot and insert your remaining annoying item. So like boomerang, something like that.
Okay, I see.
Insert your remaining annoying item.
What I think Gannon is, though, I mean, it has the implication of, okay, so now I have to do the other medallion dungeons, so I have to find these other items to get this. So there's only so many things it actually could be at this point.
Yeah, that's fair.
Did we get our way of the hero in the graveyard yet? Unless it's the song.
It's Requiem or Bomb Bag or both. Because Spirit's Medallion, we don't have a way to get to Fortress across Wastelands. We don't have Lens of Truth yet.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, I would just assume they both are. Like, trying to determine what exactly is way the hero out of the area is not as important as just rushing it, in my opinion. Especially like as a runner, it's a lot better to just go for it. Who cares what's way the hero out of there? You're more focused on what's required. What do I not have to go do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like if you have like a way of the hero location which has 2 or 3 items and they are helpful, it really doesn't matter what it is.
Sure. I mean, it's always a case-by-case basis. It always depends on the seed, but it also depends on what items those even possibly could be. But in those situations, it is a lot harder, though, for sure. Gonna be getting the slingshot. Aeronaut's making his way into Deku.
Everyone's in bottom of the well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I really like the DC plays early in adult because it's basically just a bunch of free checks.
Yeah, I like to call it Super Deku for a good reason. It's really only 1 item required, so outside of that, it's just better than Deku, straight up.
Mm-hmm.
Another bomb bag, okay. So that's bomb locked. So the one in Graveyard's probably still the first logical. especially with Scale being in Way the Hero River in the Sphere Zero check.
Right.
Okay, guys, I think at this point I should probably stop commentating on this right now because I'm starting to feel really tired. I'll still be here. And also, at this point, I would really thank you to Mosoda and Mad Monk for commentating on this, and I would also like to thank our trackers for today, which are Exidu, Chaos, Prince Sidon, and Siberian. Thanks for your work. Wow.
Yeah, we'll
Sorry,
catch up with you later. That's fine. Alright, Cola is completed.
I mean, a nice clean Dodongo fight. Doing the swag strats of bouncing the bomb off the wall.
It's pretty hard to have a messy Dodongo fight.
It was
Although
very...
we have seen it. We have seen it before.
Uh-huh.
And Cola getting up to 2 medallions here, so now Cola is taking the early progression lead away from Erwin.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it really matters at this point anyway. All of these checks that the runners are doing, they're very much expecting to do all of this that we're seeing on screen already. The only thing that I would say was probably not the case is Aeronaut going into Spirit without the pedestal information.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty high risk. Did find light arrows regardless, so kind of worked out for him, but it's really the only deviation aside from chickens from Goomba, since the child spawn is right next to him.
I mean, since you're there anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Season 4, bracket matches for that. I think all of these runners, if they're in that situation, they would do chickens. But for weeklies, it can be a little bit more risky in how you approach it. Trying to quote-unquote god route it, assuredly. So if you're trying to do that, I think skipping chickens is a pretty good option. You don't commit to it for 3 or 4 minutes. It's not a sexy check by any stretch of the imagination.
Ugh. Can't think of many people that actually like the check. I know several people that hate it.
Yeah, I know one guy who hates it.
Also, it seems we've seen everything in Lost Woods besides the Skull Kid check.
It's a little weird. I mean, if memory serves correctly, they did find a Big Po bottle there, so that could be Way the Hero still.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be pretty funny. You don't often see that be the case. Meanwhile, Cola's going into Shadow Temple here. Also really like this play. He has bomb shoes. Doesn't have a hook shot yet. Could just find one in here, though.
Mm-hmm.
We have Magic, Way the Hero, and Den Sphere Zero. So I think, especially with Nocturne Saria's song, so with all that taken into consideration, you're already adult, you just did DC. Where else are you going to go? This huge high-density progression dungeon. So I really like this play.
Do they? Yeah, they have CL.
Yeah, Zeal is from Epona.
Ah. Nice and early then.
Nah, no stress. Just find your songs, forehead.
Right. Songs are way too powerful not to go looking for.
And Rush, for that matter. Yeah, it's just if you want to place well in a weekly, you want to win a race in Ocarina of Time Randomizer, just go for the songs. It's the best strategy. Aside from getting hints and reading logic and all that. I mean, that's all important too after the early game, but as far as just starting out a seed, 100% go for songs.
Also, 10 skulls check. It's Iron Boots.
for those that don't know, there is a hookless strat for Shadow Temple. Really hard, and in my opinion, only really doable on Virtual Console, which Cola is on. So we'll see if he goes for it. I know at least he's aware of it. Whether or not he's practiced it, that's another matter entirely. It's very difficult.
Mm-hmm. Also, I'm not sure if you noticed, but Iron Boots were on 10 skulls.
Oh, well. At this point, I would assume Kak is the 5th wave hero. Pretty good assumption to make, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Also looks like I missed Serenade being on Song of Storms.
Yes.
And Erwin's gonna go back to river through to domain, so a little bit of a time loss here. He's already gone up river once.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to bomb the well super early. He's gonna get slightly punished in comparison to the other runners here, although probably doesn't feel too bad about it.
Nah. It's still early enough.
I mean, if I were him, I probably wouldn't do this. Just go adult at this point. Hopefully you just find your boomerang before you have to go to ice. Buying 3 beans. Okay, so he's only going here for beans.
That's a lot more reasonable.
Yeah, you don't want to go up river 2 times in one seat, especially, we know where Serenade is, but in his mind at least, what if you do find Serenade later, you can just scale the domain. It saves way more time than just going up river there. And
oh yeah. Scale to domain, or if you find Minuet, forest to river, a lot faster.
Yeah.
Scale is one of my favorite things to find early just for routing.
I mean, it's really good. One of the strongest early game items. Not so much for standard, but in other formats like DDR, RSL, it's something that you're kind of actively looking for to add to your routing options early on. Or if you know River's Way the hero, like in this seed.
Mm-hmm. It's like Colossus Arch is dead. Oh, so Child Spawn was the CAC shop. Nice. So Scale was in the open grotto in River.
Yep, unless we find a 3rd bomb bag, that is definitely 100% required to get the bomb bag by planting a beam.
That's rough.
With the other bomb bag's right above King Dodongo, so at this point, I mean, even if you don't know that's the case, it's a pretty good assumption to make.
Mm-hmm.
Not that they really need bomb bag though at this point. I mean, they found 20 tubes already.
It's always rough when the very first thing you're supposed to do in a seed and you can't do it any other way is go river as adult for open grotto. That's where your progression is.
I'm a huge fan of seeds like that. It's in stark contrast to jet seeds where pretty much the same thing is true, but for different reasons. I think if your routing's good and efficient enough, you won't really get caught off guard by that. Versus in jet seeds, if you don't do the exact thing that the winner does, you're falling behind. But you don't know that.
Right.
Whereas in this seed, River's Way the hero, if you just do 3-song, you'll know you have to go there, and you'll have 20 bomb chews if you go bomb well early. Which is, I think, a pretty solid play, especially considering ZL is at Epona, so you can just go straight to CAC, go get your Dampe Digging, go get bombed well, go get your skulls, and then 10 Skull has also Iron Boots. Like, There's a few different ways you can actually route the seed and have it pay off. So we haven't really seen the runners converge yet in terms of routing. I think Goomba's falling a little bit behind, as well as Aeronaut. Erwin's finally going adult here at the 50-minute mark. A little bit late. Meanwhile, Cola's already done DC, already dipped Shadow, is really trying to capitalize on his advantage here. Also, adult spawn at OGC.
Interesting adult spawn.
Very interesting. So he did the check out of logic, so won't need strength 3 for that check. Not in logic, but I mean, OGC, you don't really care.
Right.
It looks like it's the inside of OGC too. If he spawned on the outside, there's no way to get in there without strength 3.
Everyone picking up that
Oh, that
bomb.
is the logic. Yeah, because he was on the inside. Okay. There are some spawns where you're on the outside of it. It's like in Fountain. You can actually just walk backward and get it, I believe.
Yeah, I believe you're right because it doesn't load the wall if you spawn out of it.
Yeah.
Which is strange. But if you turn around and look at it, then it loads the wall. It's very weird. Ocarina of Time is a great game with no glitches whatsoever. I don't know what you're talking about. Looks like Arnot's gonna open up Jabu. Got his fish ready and everything. Something you don't see very often, but I've seen more recently now than I usually have, is going through the back of Dompe's grave with Song of Time to get into the windmill.
Another strength in Goron City behind bombs. And there he is. And he's going to pick up the big round sword here.
Yep. It's an interesting place. So, we know Silver's now.
Yep, I think the first runner that'll be able to get that is Erwin, most likely, especially if they hit up Goron City right after Dodom goes. Kola, interestingly, went to Shadow before going here, which I think is a good decision. It means progression, you know, it's not time loss, so...
Kola gonna death warp out.
Yeah, pretty nice that he's at this low of a life total. Just has that as an option without stuns.
You never. I don't think as many people realize that Suns is great for routing, for getting out of tight spots. With, hey, warp back to the entrance.
It's really good for Lost Woods early on.
Oh, a third strength is on Big Toes.
Okay. Okay, Seed.
Interesting.
Well, that does make that big Poe bottle way the hero, most likely. On Lost Woods. So I think what we can assume from that, or at least for Goomba, is that he probably knows Bo or opponent are kind of locked behind something or other. If that's actually required.
No, God, can you imagine the, see what, we have Shadow, Jabu, Water, Spirit. Could you imagine Bo being in Ganon's castle, the first one?
I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen first hookshot there before. We've seen first bomb bag there before. I'm not really shocked at seeing anything in Ganon's castle anymore, especially considering it's way the hero right now.
Right.
So really, the runners here that get ahead in a seed like this are people that went to domain early. So I think all eyes should really be on Erwin right now. Is the only person to have done that, I believe.
Or
no. It was also, yeah, Arnott. Yep. And Goomba. There's really only Kolo that's missing that strength from Domain and Big Pose right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think with such a long child opener too for the other runners, like it's definitely why you stay child for that long, but at the same time, you know, Domain's not way the hero. So I think it's I don't know. With Jabu being a progression dungeon, they're gonna find Boomerang at some point. No, unless Boomerang is behind Strength 3. I don't think Cola's really gonna get punished for this. That was another Lost Woods Way to Hero hint. Okay. And Lost Woods, okay. I was wondering if that was a new one that we found or not, but still only 2 copies for that.
So Erwin having a lot of trouble with Tiny Rolling Link.
Yeah, that guy can be a bit of a troll sometimes.
I
He's
mean,
on a set pattern though.
Mm-hmm. But still, trying to deal with bomb chews is, yeah.
Yeah, if you're just a little bit off, it'll just go right under him if he's on a jump there or what have you. But he is on a set path, so as long as you know where to stand and drop, can't really get trolled too hard by him usually. Now, Irwin's going to get the second strength from Goron City. Has not really turned into Big Po. It's a little interesting. I'm not sure if he knows it could be Way the Hero. Nice that he doesn't have to do the hover trick to get this big bronze sword. The third strength is on domain diving, the XR in chat.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to bet what's in Ganon's though, it's probably just long shot.
Yeah.
I could see long shot or boomerang at this point. I mean, first bow could be in there, but being behind 4 medallions here
makes it a lot less likely.
I mean, it is still possible. You don't really need bow for any of these meds. With forest and fire, especially, a lot of the time can be bow locked.
Mm-hmm. You don't often see water temple bow locked, but it can happen.
Like if long shot's outside of Ganon's, then bow is very likely, I would say, to be like at light trial, for example.
Mm-hmm.
For these runners, I think going to Gerudo Training Grounds, well, if it wasn't foolish, would be a pretty good option, but we know that's not necessarily a great idea for them. Especially with Fortress, too. They don't even have a way to get over there at this point.
True.
Not Modric, at least.
Alright, let's see. Goomba into Donko's Cavern. Koa back child.
It's a little interesting to see Cola go back child. I mean, he went adult fairly early on compared to the other runners. Has about 20-ish, 25-ish minutes on the others, having done adult stuff rather than just child things. Looks like he's going for treasure chest game. This is a staple of Cola routing.
Yep. 1 in 32.
Didn't get it.
You think he does the 1 in 32 once, or since he... Yeah, okay.
He always goes for it once, every time.
Nothing wrong with that.
That's fine. I mean, we saw him in a qualifier get an item from there and get first as a result of it by quite a huge margin, too. Unfortunately for him, it was after he did all of his 8 quals that counted for Season 4, so, you know, it's a double-edged sword. It's a double-edged sword. Looks like he came back for Bomb Shoot Bowling. I think this is a pretty good decision. I mean, he doesn't really have a ton open to him right now. Probably has to go and plant a bean at Lake, I would imagine. I mean, there's really not a ton open right now. So I think he's going to stumble upon an item. It's just a matter of time. And really, we haven't seen all 4 of these runners. We haven't seen the routes converge yet. And kind of what I mean by that is there's always a specific point in the seed, especially in weeklies, where you have 4 people on 4 different routes. They're going to all converge at some point. So we'll have a better idea as to who is ahead and behind, probably in about, I would say, 30 minutes. It's probably a good guess.
Yeah.
And so as a runner, it's you kind of have to have that in the back of your head. Like, okay, I can do this as a kind of a quantified risk. And I know the convergence point's not probably necessarily like reached yet. But when that is it's a really good question. The sooner you know, the better you can route, I think. For us, it's a lot easier, of course, not being in the dark.
Because we're seeing 4 different perspectives. Holy crap, it's a lot easier for us, and we're not trying to race. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier for us to try and take the time to try and figure out logic.
Oh, speak for yourself. I'm playing the seed too, side by side here with running. No, I'm just kidding. Can only do so many things at once here.
Well, we're having 3 runners in Dodongos at the same time.
Yeah, this is bound to happen. They all did a long child segment. It's a progression dungeon. I think for them, you could say this is a convergence point for him, but overall, probably not. There's gonna be more people that in the race at large go early adult, kind of like Cola did. Cola searching for that way of the hero in Lost Woods. I think actively looking for it like this is really good for him. He's going to realize this Big Po bottle's most likely way of the hero, turn it and get a strength out of it. As long as he turns in letter at domain, he's okay here. Probably looking and hoping for Boomerang, I'd imagine. And just as I said earlier, Suns is really nice for Lost Woods. Don't have to climb up the ladder, saves 30 seconds minimum.
So going over checks we've already seen from everybody. All right.
Child Goron City. This is a very strong location in general, especially with all the Season 4 changes and whatnot you have. It's really dense. It doesn't take a bunch of time. It's basically half of a Deku in terms of strength and density. It takes about as much time for the same number of checks. So if you put it into that perspective, I don't know why more people don't do this early on. You can attach to your Lost Woods, kind of like Cola's doing. Really interesting to see that he just went for the song only. When he went from the first time, rushed Deku, rushed Adult, rushed DC, rushed Shadow. Like, he's really wasting no time at all here. It's one of the cooler aspects of Ocarina of Time Randomizer is your prioritization and things between the ages and how you route that can vary pretty wildly. So things that you can do as both ages, kind of like Lost Woods, a few different areas like Death Mountain Trail, although we know that's dead in the seed, you can get as either age. So, I mean, if you can put those off, ideally, it's pretty great because then you have more options available to you. There's the hook shot.
Yep. Chat, rolling Goron. Well, that opens up at least. Well, there's half a forest until you get bow locked.
Yeah, it is a stone in the seed, so you might not go for it.
True.
But at this point, it's really not that many locations left, kind of as I was saying, so I think it's a lot more likely than not. Especially considering he has Minuet. There's that Big Poe. So we're definitely making note of it.
That Big Poe's not in Lostwood. That Big Poe is in Kokiri Forest.
Oh, is it Kokiri Forest? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's Kokiri Grotto.
Oh dear. Well. That does change a few things. We know we need Sari's song, and at this point, there's only so many places it could be. We know it's not at Bolero. There's Goomba with the 3rd strength. First runner on Restream to do that.
Everyone's picking up his right here.
Yep. Not far behind. It's, what, 30-second difference between the two and getting their 3rd strength?
I'd say about 15, actually.
Yeah, not even, so.
Alright. With that, Big Poe being in Kokiri Forest and not Lost Woods, we know we need Sarias. Do we know what's at Ice?
We do not. Though with the early letter, like they've gotten out of Bomb of the Well, I mean, it's only a matter of time before we see an Ice play here, and I think Goomba's going to be the first to go there. He's in the best position to do so at this point. Meanwhile, Aeronaut just completed DC and is heading up toward Goron City, so he's going to be the 3rd person to get the Strength 3, and Cola's going to turn in the Big Poe, probably. I mean, what else does he have to do, and he's going to pass right by it.
Erwin going up to Gannon's castle to set time and day before going back child.
So in terms of items, we're really just looking for bow. Hookshot means that Cola can go further in shadow. So he's heading straight there.
Not even arguing with that Poe.
Yeah, without a bow, I mean, I think this is a pretty good play for him, especially if you know the Bola strat at the very end of Shadow after the boat. You can just drop a bomb chew if you get the right angle, and you can just go complete Shadow. So I assume that's what he's going to do. It's going to be very close to opening up Gannon's. Only needs one more medallion, so if there is anything in here that's required for the other dungeons, he's going to be able to get it.
As Aeronaut picks up his gold. Hookshot was on Big Rolling Goron. Are we going Child Spirit?
Yeah, looks like it. I mean, I think this is an okay play as well. It's progression. He's probably not going to lose that much time. He could just do the first two and then leave, considering he has strength 2 already. So,
right,
and mirror shield. So you could just go complete spirit, and then if there's a bow anywhere, you could do shadow and logic, and that could be the other dungeon that's required logically to get to Gannon's, but we'll have to see if there's another item aside from that, because the 2 dungeons that are left are Jabu and Water. You need Longshot and Boomerang at this point to complete the seed, and we already know Lights are in Spirit, so with Gannon's Way, the hero, we know one's going to be there, very likely. Though we could find like a hammer that leads to something in fire. So it's not quite figured out at this point, but I think the runners will have a pretty good idea pretty soon as to what is left here for them. Assuming they go to Child Goron City, it's really what it's coming down to, at least for this seed.
Funnily enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it's managing your time, or not time of day, managing your age changes effectively. It's pretty important skill, and part of the reason why we saw 3 out of the 4 runners do a very long child segment. Although not doing Goron City among those, that seems a little weird to me. If you're going to be staying that child that long and you don't do that, it's... I don't know. It's right next to Lost Woods. They already had bomb shoes at the very least, so... I think it's a bit of a lost opportunity for him, is what I'm trying to say. Whereas Gola, I mean, he went adult very early, got progression out of the way, went back child for things that were required, and is back in progression. So I really like Gola's positioning in the seed. Depends on if you actually do need their strength for something in Gannon's, or if it's even required. Could get bailed out as a result of that. But Big Poser child diving in Domain, that's not a great split for strengths as far as locations.
Right.
The Goron City one's pretty free, but the other 2 not so much. Especially depends on your age changes.
Also, Sora Fountain into Ice Cavern for Goomba. Cackway the hero, there it is.
Yep, told you.
Caxway the hero, water is wet, the sky is blue.
It's not necessarily a dead hint, though. I know chat loves to shit on it, but it's actually a really good hint. You know that you can probably take into account 10-20 skull, and that's going to lead Cola to a strength. Or not a strength. The Iron Boots. The Iron Boots.
That was Goomba who got it.
Right. But if you go Ice Cavern at all here in the seed, it's gonna be a good hint for you. And there will be another one. Ooh, look, there's a bow.
Nice.
All right.
Bo just chilling out there on the iceberg.
I mean, it's a really good play. You had Bomb the Well has letter. It was only bomb locked and bombs her way to hero. I mean, it's a pretty good play, I think. It's kind of the same thing as Bomb the Well. The earlier you go to ice, generally the better it is, I would say. Kind of depends on who you ask for that one, but it's a pretty dense location, and if you already turned in letter early on, it's not bad. The only thing that's bad about ice is the time it takes to get there, but it's a pretty dense location, so for the time that it takes you, I don't mind doing ice, but depending on where you are in the seed and your age changes, it can get a little awkward or bad in terms of routing.
Meanwhile, Erwin just sitting there and letting the stall children hit him repeatedly while waiting for time of day. Which he has Sunsong. I'm not sure why he didn't play it.
Might have forgotten about it. Yeah, meanwhile, Cola is very deep in the shadow here.
Mm-hmm.
Also, it looks like he found a 20 pack of bomb shoes in here. That's pretty fortunate, considering he's probably going for at least the chew strat here.
Mm-hmm.
In case it goes horribly wrong, you have more than 4 chances at this point.
Even if he had set Scarecrow, you don't have long shot to reach the Scarecrow. That Scarecrow here in Shadow Temple requires long shot to reach. There's the last bottle. Don't think we've really seen anything here in Shadow Temple.
No, not really. Well, I might be a little disappointed. It's just such a big location, so it'd be understandable.
Erwin going for that other Hyrule Castle hint, it's just saying, hey, big Goronsaurus in the maze.
Probably looking for that 5th wave of hero.
Mm-hmm.
Provide him a little bit more direction in terms of routing.
Aranot following up into Ice Cavern, gonna find his bow.
I'm a little surprised seeing him go Child this early, too. I would think going Spirit would be a little bit better of an option. But without that hookshot, it's really what it comes down to. Going to Child Goron City, getting that hookshot. There's a second scale on ice. That is scale locked.
And if you haven't seen Irons yet on 10 Skulls, nice to see, with Water Temple being required.
And also Aeronaut picking up that bow and found not too much far behind Goomba and Ice Cavern here.
Mm-hmm. Can you?
Meanwhile, Cole is just completing Shadow. He's just straight up ahead of here, I think.
Oh yeah. Can you actually peak that without gold scale?
Yeah. It's a lot easier to do on emulator than it is on virtual console. Just in terms of being able to see items, it's can get a little fuzzy on VC. Meanwhile, at least for me, I play on emulator, so I have no problem seeing that. But if you have gold scale, it can be a little bit easier. Ooh, there's Kakuri's sword on Bongo.
It's the mini Goron sword.
Not as useful as in Season 4 settings, but
Still not bad.
it's okay. I mean, at some point he's going to have to do Jabu, and it might be useful if he's low on sticks, but it's a pretty low consideration, at least for these settings.
Mm-hmm. Goomba getting trolled by the keys.
Ah, classic ice things.
Sorry. Just roll. He misses one ice breath to roll right into the other. Alright. Sunsong Grave is nothing.
We'll see what Colo does here at this point. Really has a great opportunity to capitalize on his route so far. You can see going to Ice Cavern here. Checking Burning Cat is a heads-up play. It's Epona's. All right. Don't think that's really gonna be that useful, but it could point him to Big Po's, and he already has a Big Po.
He just
And
equipped
he
it.
just save quit. So, I mean, I think it's likely that he turns it in.
Yeah, that's true. Hammer rocks are also a thing.
Close to 10 gold skulls as well. He has 8 currently. And yeah, we're seeing Erwin go Spirit Temple now, and Goomba's a little bit ahead of him, having gone Ice Cavern already as well.
Mm-hmm.
And as expected, Cola getting that second strength now.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going back child to go to the Spirit Temple, I'd imagine.
Most likely.
Pretty safe play, considering... I mean, he hasn't really taken any risks whatsoever, the Seed. Hasn't really skipped anything that's not required, and... kind of like I was saying earlier, I think not going to Child Goron City when everyone else had such a long child segment, I just kind of don't get it. They had bombs and strength at that point, so it's super quick to get 2 checks, 3 checks in there.
Mm-hmm. Also, there's Sarius on the Prelude check.
All right, Cola going for that Lost Woods way, the hero.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense. Probably had a completely different plan in mind here when coming child, but since you grabbed the song right there, there's no reason not to do this first.
I think this will make it so that we're in no mode already. So whatever is not here that's required is just going to be in Gannon's, assuming Hammer's not in either location.
Mm-hmm.
At the very least, I hope people have a newfound respect for Child Goron City after the Seed. It really is a good location. Haven't seen a Seed punish it this hard in a long while, though. Could actually impact the meta in terms of weeklies.
Sarius is boomerang.
There we go. I mean, that's Gannon's access for Cola. He's got to be pretty happy about that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, so far, no one else has even hookshot at this point, and Cola got it at 1 hour, 6 minutes, and is heading toward his 4th medallion. So at this point, I think the question becomes, is Cola going to win the whole race? I think it's a given that he's just going to win the restream, but it's possible he just puts off Ice Cavern, Fountain forever and doesn't get bow, but that's assuming there's not a second bow somewhere, so... Pretty interesting seed, though, in terms of layout.
Yeah, so far it has been.
It's the wombo combo of Fortress, GTG, both being foolish. It's just a huge, huge deal. It makes your sequencing a lot more important early on here. Because there's just so many locations that are just not available to you now. Could see a tight finish for first, though, in the race overall.
Those are always nice.
Always exciting, that's for sure. Maybe not for the runners, but we got 58 people total in this race. It's quite a few.
And as expected, Cola's just gonna knock out Jabu Wise here.
Getting that Cackway the hero.
That might push him towards 10 skulls.
Yeah, I think it will. I mean, he's gonna check it. It's just a matter of when. He's already on Shadow, so he's gonna have to warp there at the very least. But yeah, he's only 2 skulls away at this point, so pretty convenient. He's in Jabu, can get 2 here and then just be done with it.
Right.
He can go up to 20, but with Gannon's Way the hero and being only a couple items away from go mode, I mean, I don't think he goes for 20 in this situation.
The strength that Cola is missing is in he's got the Big Poe and he got Goron City. So he is missing the wow, my brain literally just shut off for a minute.
Domain diving.
Domain diving.
He could do it after Jabu, but he's most likely just going to rush Gannon's. It's not, I mean, it's not a given, though, that you even need Strength 3 yet, so you might not even get punished for it.
Very true. That's going to feel real bad if he rushes to Gannon's, needs Strength 3, and then when he finally finds it at Domain Diving.
And if he doesn't go Child Spirit in this Child segment, he just goes straight back Child, does Spirit, and then does remaining Child checks probably, or finishes Spirit and hopes to get lucky or something, but...
Yeah.
Erwin at the very top of Spirit. No hookshot, no bow. I don't think they know the hookshotless strat. Spirit, but we'll see. We'll see. Kind of similar to the Shadow Temple one in terms of difficulty. A little bit easier, I would say, but regardless, pretty YOLO at the same time.
Basically got one.
Definitely swag. Definitely swag. The second wallet for Cola and Jabu.
But we saw the Zora tunic on Bombchu Bowling. Also, quick, easy checks in here. No reason to skip them unless you're in go mode already. Wow.
It's one of those items where there's multiple copies, so, man, Cola getting bailed out pretty hard. It's not a strength, but that is very nice for his route. It's kind of hard for Bo to be logically locked by all the bows and not be hindered way the hero, too, at the same time, so...
Right.
Not too surprising to see a second bow.
Excuse me.
Like, if it wasn't in here, it'd be in Shadow, or not Shadow, Spirit. But we've already seen most of that anyway. I'm sure Erwin would love to find one in here. It doesn't even open that much for him, though.
Mm-mm.
Not sure if Goomba knows, but this one is not accessible without hookshot. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Okay, so I learned something today.
Bomb jump with jump slash.
Yeah, usually you see that for Haunted Wasteland a lot, but I guess it's possible for Shadow too. At least for that skull.
That was interesting. I guess not accessible to hookshot.
Ooh, haven't had egg on my face that hard in a while, so I definitely deserve it. Yeah, let me go get a towel. Hold on.
Take your time. Reaching the end of Jabu here. Pick up these 2 easy skulls. He'll be at 10.
I think this seed is definitely sub-2able for whoever gets first.
Oh
There's
yeah.
really not that much left for Cola. He's gonna find BK and Spirit pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
And all you have left at that point is water, and if Longshots and Gannon's not strength 3 locked, this is a jet seed for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot to do with that is GTG Fortress Foolish, as well as Death Mountain Trail. It's just a huge number of checks that you just don't have to do a lot of time to limiting your decisions, and as long as you don't just ignore Bomb the Well completely.
Oh yeah. Ignoring bottom of the well would be the worst thing to do here.
I kind of find it a hard decision to make. I don't know, with ZL at Epona's, you start with Song of Storms. You know bomb bags at Graveyard at some point in the seed. If you go early adult, if you don't go early adult, you probably go here. Be it anyway, so like if you don't go there before the hour mark, the seed, I think that's just a huge mistake. We're gonna get these iron boots here. Meanwhile, Aeronaut and Irwin are both in Shadow. Irwin still no bow, still no hookshot. That's gotta be a little bit rough.
No bow and no hook. He's going to hit a wall in here. He cannot get past. Arnott's going to hit the same wall because of no hook. Yeah, that hook shot on a big rolling Goron. Really not nice to these players. No, everybody's on the same randomizer.
It's a bit hard to have a race on 2 different seeds when they play out differently. It's just not competitively fair, so they're all playing on the same seed.
Right. Because if you try and do different seeds, someone's always going to have the better seed.
Yeah. Imagine completing a jet seed and your opponent has an all dungeon seed. That's just
That's not fun for anyone.
no.
Arnott's having a real tough time. There he goes. Goomba going back child.
He's already gotten Ice, already gotten Spirit, Shadow. I think he's funneling himself along to this hookshot at Goron City. I don't know if he's actually gone to Shadow. I haven't been paying that much attention to Goomba specifically, but regardless, doesn't have that many locations left at this point, so gonna be doing some child cleanup from his perspective.
Mm-hmm. No, the Gannon's Castle Way here at the moment looks like it's going to be long shot. It's basically the only thing we're missing.
Yeah, we know those lights are in spirit. We know where all three strengths are.
Mm-hmm.
Unless Hammer's in Gannon's Castle, but then Longshot's most likely Hammerlocked at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Could just be in Forests, but that's a little hard to believe.
Mm-hmm. Cola being a little bit thorough here. Not immediately rushing to Gannon's. She
might run into that strength.
No, nope.
Or not. Or not. Okay. Still a race on our hands.
Let me take a look at his items. No.
He's gonna do Target Woods here.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get that earlier.
Taking a look at his items, he's gonna miss. No, wait, he has Inspire and Hovers, so he could do, but no long shot. Could he do Shadow 2 trial?
It doesn't have fire arrows or long shot, so no.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, imagine a Hammer and Gannon's outside of Strength 3, or not even outside of Strength 3. It could just be Hammer and Gannon's for fire arrows and fire. For Shadow 2, long shot.
Oof. That would be rough.
Probably the worst the seed could be at this point, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the seed hasn't been bad at all.
No, it's pretty good. I mean...
I mean, hour and 40 minutes, and we're already one item away from no mode.
Yeah. Cola might be prioritizing checks that he thinks strength might be at, just in case he has to go to light trial for Gannon's, but I think at this point he's going to bite the bullet and go there.
Mm-hmm.
There's only so much you can do outside of Way of the Hero Gannon's before you're just like, okay, this is silly. What am I doing?
Right.
Yeah, I'm glad the seed is so fast. I'll be able to do a seed after this, probably like an hour from now. The ultimate degen answer. I mean, it was just yesterday that I did an all sanity, 12 MQ, all ER mixed.
Oh.
That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. My first hook shot was in the hallway in MQ water.
Oh my god.
On the skull.
No.
That was a fun experience, but stark contrast into this seed. This seed looks really not that bad in comparison. I mean, few things do really.
I'm sorry, that's just holy crap.
And then I did a standard seed afterwards.
Pretty sure you're slightly insane, just saying.
I mean, I just like Ocarina of Time Randomizer, man.
You know what? Fair. Not
like
going.
I might be going for the hookshotless strat here.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Cola not going Gannon's.
Hoping to find Strength 3 in here.
Mm-hmm.
After getting the big post strength there. Gotta be rushing progression more than anything. Because if you find Strength 3 here, then he's just gonna go for actual routing sake, but He doesn't know lights are in here. Once he does find lights, I expect he'll go Gannon's after that. Won't be finding strength in 3 in here. We know that, but as a result of that, he's going to be full clearing spirit. Really not going to affect his routing too much, though. Unless there's somebody out there that finds strength 3, goes Gannon's, gets go mode, then goes spirit as their last dungeon, I could see that happening. But aside from that, I think it's pretty likely that you full cleared anyway here. So not really a huge risk for him.
Speaking of, here's Arn now going into spirit as well. Also, hello Raiders from PSR2 of 37.
Yeah, welcome. This is a jet seed, and we're pretty much in no mode at this point. We know that Gannon's his way the hero. We have found literally everything else except Longshot. So the big question right now, does Light Trial have it? Or is it just sitting in a chest outside of the block there? So we'll be finding that out at some point, probably in the next 30 minutes. However long it takes Cola to do Spirit here and then go to Gannon's. But whether or not he goes back to Zora diving after having done Jabu already, that's the biggest question of the seed right now.
That, or is it actually Hammer in Gannon's?
Yeah. Meanwhile, Irwin's going into fire here, getting our first look here at Stone Fire. Interesting
check.
I'm sure that's not exactly where he wants to be at this point. But without a hookshot or bow, he doesn't really have a ton of choice other than age changing. He probably wants to limit that as much as possible, considering his opener was a 50-minute child one.
Right.
And he's already gone back child once, so you really don't want to go back again if you don't have to. Unfortunately for him, he will have to, but... Yeah, I don't think it's possible to have Vanilla Longshot this seed. We've already seen Zora Tunic. It could be a wallet in Gannon's.
Nope, we've seen both wallets.
Have we seen? Oh yeah, we have seen a wallet. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, it's just not possible for that then.
Actually, Cola has both wallets.
Yeah, I totally missed that. The second wallet. Do you remember where that was?
No.
I guess it's Shadow, Deep Shadow or something, but...
maybe. I don't remember.
Yeah, neither do I. Not especially relevant, considering they got the Zora Tunic fairly early on, too.
Goron Tunic on chickens. Zora Tunic is on the Bomb Chew game 2.
Yep. There's lights for Cola.
Okay, so no mode is where we know the location of all the items needed to complete the seed. Erwin talking to the
it's just a spin on go mode where you have everything required of the seed and you can complete it. You're in quote unquote go mode and you go for it. You just complete it.
There was one commentary on we were just sitting there talking about different types of modes. There was no mode, go mode,
yeah,
bottle mode.
That's too memey for me.
It was very memey stream.
Yeah, sometimes it'd be like that.
Oh no mode, that was one of them.
I can get behind that one. That's fine.
Oh no mode, where you're missing one item and you have no way the hero for it.
Or surprise all dungeons, or whatever bad thing has happened to you this seed.
It's oh no mode.
First hook shot and MQ water.
Oh god. Hey, there's Goomba hook shot.
Very nice. Okay, Goomba's got to be a little bit relieved, but probably is feeling behind if I had to guess. I mean, he only has 2 medallions, and it's almost 2 hours into the seed. And he did a really long child section, so you can't be feeling ahead, that's for sure.
Oh, not at all. Did a really long child section, but missed Goron City.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like a lot of people probably did. At least on the restream, 2 other people also did. They still don't have it. So it might be in okay shape. But it's really just a question of, like, how thorough should you be? You know it's not an all-dungeon seed. You know you're getting all of these very early location items. So I don't think it was a wrong decision necessarily to not go Goron City, but just kind of unfortunate for a Soakshot location. That's very apparent.
So yes, the Way of the Hero command is just a little bit out of date. The last Way of the Hero is Kakariko.
Yep, only super relevant knowing that Iron Boots are there, but I mean, we even saw a second scale in Ice Cavern, so even if you don't get any skulls as a seed, you can just go to Ice Cavern.
Unless for
hopefully you don't need it. Yeah.
Unless for some reason boss key is in Central Pillar.
Yep, you can do everything else in water out of logic at the very least, unless the key logic lines up in a way where you could need a small key on Central, but even then, it's you most likely can do everything else.
Also, one thing about this room here in Spirit that Cola's in. Long shot makes it the easiest room in the whole thing that you never realize when you're a child. Because you can just long shot right up to the top of the wall.
Only super relevant for the Silver Gauntlet chest as well. Depending on if you get locked out as a child, you might not go back. So if that has like boss key, for instance, or an item, it's super nice to just get it with long.
We're not going to climb the whole wall because he still doesn't have a hook shot.
You know, the great thing about Spirit Temple, though, if you really understand the key logic super well, you can skip a lot of checks generally. Usually 2, as long as you don't need 4 required for the small keys. So there's one really nice thing about Spirit. Also, it's probably the fastest dungeon to go mode, aside from like Deku with Thins or something like that. And it's a lot of checks as well, so I'm a big Spirit Temple fan myself.
The only thing about Kokiri Sword no longer being required to enter Deku Tree is you're gonna see a lot less of Go Mode Deku Tree with Dins.
Yeah, it's still possible. I mean, I think it was the first weekly that we tried out the 4-med open Deku, and first hint of the game, Deku Foolish.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, so not out of the realm of possibility. I mean, but yeah, pretty unlikely, as you're saying.
There are some great fast strats for all the bosses. Great fast strats for go moding dungeons. Always nice to see them.
Yeah, except Forest and Shadow. You're pretty much fucked if you have to go mode those.
Yep, except Forest and Shadow because they're linear.
You can skip at least maybe 2, maybe 3 sometimes in either of them, but usually it's a full clear kind of a situation. Nice setup from the Arn out there. Nice roll strats to get the perfect angle without actually measuring with the mirror shield there. There's a setup for everything. I mean, it's Ocarina time.
Erwin going for KZ skip because he did not turn in his letter while he was a child.
It's gonna get somewhat paid off for it. It's gonna find the bow. Again, not really opening up a whole lot for him, but gonna have to get that hookshot as child.
Oh, has irons. It's gonna be able to see what's down. I
think it was a bloopy.
Okay. I swear, every race I miss at least 3 items because my eyes aren't good or fast enough for these runners.
It's hard to see. I mean, they're all probably full screen, and we're only seeing a small section of their screen. Well, not section, but reduced size for sure of each of their streams. So definitely a lot harder to tell in the commentary booth here.
This actually has not been a bad Troll Rover for Cola. We'll see how it goes here.
I mean, the RNG's out of the way already for Twin Rova. It's just a matter of completing it now. And he even has Big Round Sword, so if he doesn't one cycle this, I'd be shocked.
True, it is one of the fastest Big Round Sword bosses.
I'd say that's probably Goma still, but it's not something you see in weeklies, so...
You can Big Goron Sword Goma?
Yeah, if you enter as adult. But again, not something you see on weeklies, because entrance rando.
Right.
Remember, I'm the degenerate that ran the All Sanity yesterday, so... with all ER, so... That's where I'm coming from. Not to mention random settings, I mean, that's also a fine wine.
Mm-hmm. Alright, using the bean at the lab. Still doesn't have a hook shot. It's a good play. You can check a lab dive too. Deku is closed as adult. We're talking entrance randomizer, I'm guessing. Oof. Yeah, it's not something you'll ever see in one of our standard weeklies, though. Lab dive dead. Everything dead. I think that answer was fairly
Not
obvious.
even a question. I don't.
After his, I just did an all sandy random settings. Yeah, it was not in question what your favorite Zelda is.
Now, second favorite Zelda. Now, that's a discussion I wouldn't mind having. That's...
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of really good choices, and it really kind of depends on how old you are, I think.
Yeah. Go back and grab that key and say, yeah, I don't want any of the other checks. Alright, getting our first look at Gannon's castle.
Yeah, I'm also a pretty big Oracle fan myself. I think in terms of flavor, I really like Wind Waker. Yeah, Cola skipped domain dive because it was a slow check. He just did Jabu, checked the Fountain Fairy, and then left. He was only 1 to 2 items away from Gomod at that point, and found another bow in Jabu. So I don't think it's a bad decision at all to skip domain in that scenario. It's risky for sure. Not saying it's not risky, but in his situation, from his perspective, he's only been going to progression pretty much the entire seed, or things that are way the hero. So that's what it takes sometimes to win a weekly. With 58 people in a race, you have to take risks at some point and get lucky and have it pay off.
Basically, you got to get the trifecta.
Yeah, it's skill, luck, and routing. Big three.
Mm-hmm.
Where, I mean, we normally talk about 2 of them, but the luck factor is definitely there. You can make all the right decisions and just get super punished.
Mm-hmm. There could be technically nothing wrong at all with your choice of routing, but then everything's actually wrong with it because of the seed. Skull Kid is the Rang chimp. And
Behind Shadow on Prelude.
yeah, because Prelude has Arius.
First hook shot, by the way, rolling Goron, Child Goron City, unhinted, and 3 of the runners here that, I mean, Goomba hasn't now, but Goomba, Aeronaut, and Irwin had a 50-minute Child 1 segment and didn't go there. And then somehow Cola, I mean, he routed it in when he did Lost Woods, because he actually skipped Lost Woods as Child, went Deku, only got the Lost Woods song from SFM. Really trying to cut out a lot from his routing, but at this point, it's looking pretty likely it's going to need those Strength 3. A few more checks left. 2 in Water and 1 in Shadow Trial.
It'd be very thematic if it's right here. Nope.
I kind of hope it is.
Hammer! Son of a bitch.
All right, let's go get fire arrows from fire.
I swear to God, if it's fire arrows on fire.
I'm a prophet, dude.
Stop speaking it into existence.
You can never stop the seed. I would also be a big fan of Longshot right here. Ah, okay.
Now watch Longshot be in Light Trial and he just missed it because he didn't have Strength 3.
Ah, no, don't say that. Don't say that.
That's just mean to say. I'm sorry.
Well, then you'll see somebody finishing first while Colo's just dicking around in fire, so...
True.
Probably can't be too pleased with that hammer. I mean, it's not that bad, though. He's 5 meds in under 2 hours and could be in no mode. He's definitely not getting that Strength 3 anytime soon, though.
Oh, hell no.
Not even close. I think he will check Tentacle at some point. I do believe that, because of the Cacklade, the hero. Even if he finds Longshot, he's definitely just going to rush it. Maybe even planning to check 20 at this point. I mean, I think he's over 10 at this point, like 12-ish, in that kind of a range.
Something like that. Also, as soon as Goomba finishes here, Goomba will be our first runner that has 4 medallions and Strength 3.
It could be representing the field at large, or a large portion of it too. I mean, Cola's on a clock here.
Hammerrock Fairy. Good choice.
Yeah, definitely something you want to do first before going into an entire dungeon, much less Fire Temple. One of the worst dungeons.
And it's nothing. Bunch of money.
Really easy to get locked by Pierre, by doing Volvagia, by Bow even, if you didn't have it here. And it takes forever, and there's 8 keys. So, I mean, what's not to hate about Fire Temple?
But, yes, Shadow, he did Jabu without doing diving. Also, treasure chest minigame. And when did he get the lens?
The lens was at... somewhere kind of randomish. I forget exactly where, but...
Just completely random. Tectite Grotto.
Tectite Grotto, yeah. Yep, see, somewhere random.
ATC Grotto. Gotta know your meat.
I prefer calling it Tectite. I mean, I hate nicknames on Randomizer. It's just not very accessible and friendly to new players, especially. So,
yeah, that's fair. And it's just a bloopy.
I mean, if we called check Big Bob's pancake fiasco, that means literally fucking nothing to just anybody walking down the street. And we've had dumber names than that. I'm sorry, but
Big Bob's pancake fiasco. Okay, I'm good. Okay. Alright, I'm good. Oh boy. Sorry, that's just... Alright.
not a fan of nicknames. That's all I'm saying.
You know what? That's completely fair. Happy 2 hours, everybody.
Yeah, no finishes either. I'm a pretty quick seed. I mean, it's really not that many places you can go.
Mm-hmm. Going to see most, if not all, of Fire Temple here until we find anything that'll get us out of here, pretty much. Because you don't want to spend more time in a stone dungeon than you have to, especially if it's not required.
Especially fire. Oh man, I hate fire.
You really hate fire.
It's not good. It's just a reskin of water. It's really not that many more items than water, and they both take forever. They have a billion keys.
Oh god, the keys.
The good thing about water is very unlikely they have to go to Morpha first to progress further in the dungeon. It's just not a great layout.
Okay, yeah. I will agree with Volvagia being able to key lock you is annoying as shit.
Like, if you get BK on the map chest, you have to go all the way back up elevator. Like, it's not good. It's very slow. It's at least 2 minutes that you just lose to that. And if it's not required, then it's just a yikes. Like, this could be Valley Hammer Rocks that has your long shot in this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, like, I don't know. I don't know if I would go into fire like Kola. I think checking the Crater Fairy and then saving in fire, playing Serenade and then rushing Valley Hammer Rocks could be a much safer play than what he's doing right now.
Mm-hmm. So you could just reset into fire if you're because it's not Valley Rocks.
Yeah, I mean, I think it comes down for me to if you can come to fire earlier in the seed and know the key layout, because right now, I think it's 2 keys are locked behind hammer, so all of fire now is hammer locked at this point. But at the same time, if you have found 3 small keys before then, and you can get to the shortcut and deep fire, then, I mean, unless you're locked by Volvagia, it's not super great. This could be totally not required right now.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, long shot could be in light trail too. We just don't know yet.
You just don't know yet. Speaking of,
Yeah, Goomba.
Has finished off Spirit Temple. Save quitting. And it's going to do Gannon's Castle with Strength 3. So we're about to see some light trial. And we will know if it's actually hammer. Hey, there's our not getting his hook shot.
Not happy about that.
Happy.
Hey, I wouldn't be either. It's at the 2 hour mark and you're just getting hook shot. You only have 2 meds at this point. That's a yikes.
Mm-hmm.
That's not even anything on Arena. That's just unfortunate.
Right.
Meanwhile, Erwin doesn't even have hook shot yet. Did get the bow at Fountain, but doing chickens will get a Goron tunic out of it at the very least. But all right. Here's light trial.
Yeet.
All right. Is his long shot in here?
Well, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 checks in here. We'll find out.
Piece of heart. Slingshot. Okay.
Arrows.
Ooh. Oh, forest wind. Okay.
Okay.
That's actually a huge find for Goomba. I mean,
You can just drop it here.
yeah.
A key, so you can get the last check. The other key.
He's
Long shot. That means all of fire arrows and fire.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Oh, this is not good for Cola.
Well,
He's
I
just
think
gonna,
that's you can say goodbye to Colo losing that, or he's not winning this race. I think that's pretty apparent now. He was super far ahead too. It's oof.
oof, that him just skipping that domain diving. It's gonna cost him so much.
Yeah, I'm definitely not reading the spoiler log. Don't worry, Chad.
Meanwhile, hey, it's gonna be hammer for fire arrows for Shadow 2.
Hey, I can show you my notes. It's a giant clipboard. It's a mess of notes, like it always is for me. I can show you, but you might be shocked.
I'm not sure I want to see what goes on inside your head. I imagine it's like that scene from Beautiful Minds.
Here, let me just
Oh no.
I mean, this was yesterday.
Oh no. Alright, let's take a look. Oh my god.
It's a lot cleaner today, don't worry. But, I mean, that's just an example.
Mm-hmm. Wow. You really go all in. Meanwhile, Doc and Chap's like, please don't look.
Oh, he knows.
Now I really also want to look at it.
Alright, here you go.
Oh, no.
Yo!
Also, there's Erwin picking up his hook shot.
That's huge.
Everyone on Restream has a hook shot.
There we go.
Ooh, Goomba.
Goomba still has Jabba, though, and... I mean, he does know about the Lost Woods Way of the Hero. Don't know if he's checked Prelude. He's got to know, though. That's actually what's required out of him here, so... Should be the first to reach Go mode here.
Should be. If he just goes towards Child, he'll get it. Interesting timing for... Huh. I don't think I've ever seen that set up to bomb chew the pot.
That's pretty nice. It's a little bit faster than climbing up to get the setup with the bomb bag. Especially if you're coming down to do Darunia anyway. And if you don't have bomb bag, it's super nice for that.
Yep, it's light trial chest that spawns from killing enemies.
And where do you think Cole's going to go after he completes fire and learns of his fate?
He might follow those fire arrows and go start checking. He might go check Shadow Trial 2 again.
Yeah. You know he's going to find that, right?
What's that?
I mean, it's going to be nothing, but I'm just trolling you.
God damn it. Like, what could it even be at this point to control him more?
Yeah, I mean, we've found all of the items at this point, so it could be another bow. I'll just say it's another bow for now.
The last bow.
Yeah, it'd be bow locked. I mean, it's probably where it's at.
Oh, hey, look, double magic.
Yeah, it could be another bomb bag as well. Ring was on Skull Kid, and Hammer was on... Where was that?
Water Trial, second chest.
Right.
Right chest, not left chest. Yeah, Hammer was Water Trial, right chest. He's very confused. It's like, all I found was fire arrows, and I have a fire source.
Well, shit. That's probably what he's thinking. Yeah, he's gonna go back to Gannon's. Makes a lot of sense.
Then
Wow, Goomba's,
oh, it's just in light trial.
Goomba's beelining for this ring.
Goomba's gonna grab that ring, be in go mode, and we should see 2.5 hour finish.
Yeah, right around there. I mean, we haven't seen anybody else in the race at large yet finish. The ZSR bot will let us know in chat.
Should let us know in chat.
Yeah, that's a better summary. In case there's a bad bot in chat, you know how that goes.
Are not in shadow. Erwin finishing off. Spirit now that he's got hook shot. Goomba in go mode.
It's a pretty good time for go mode. Can't be too bad about that, especially considering you got the hook shot super, super late. You really only needed it to complete Spirit and Shadow, though. And then obviously Water, but...
Alright, Cola. What you gonna find here? Goomba's just gonna go mode Jabu. A heart container. And he's so confused.
Yeah, he's over this one. He's over this one. Don't blame him. Don't blame him. I think he's going for Valley Hammerocks now.
What other Hammerlock checks do you have? Alright.
I'll be right back.
Everyone's just about to finish up Spirit here. Nice click Chorova. Goomba entering Jabu Jabu. Arnott doing Shadow. And Cola Not sure where he's supposed to be going. Call is the only one who missed strength 3. Yes, Gomo Jabu is known as not really less Jabu. Two rooms less. Hooray! Everyone headed back into Shadow. Now that he's got Spirit done. This will be his 4th medallion. Are not in Shadow. Almost at the ship, so he should be done with it soon. Short hopping there instead of grabbing the wheel. That's rough. There we go. Alright, now. Looks. Kola is reverse waste landing. Well, he knows GTG and Garuda's Fortress is barren, so this is literally just to get to Hammer Rocks fast. From here, he's just going to be hunting his strength 3 once he finds out this is dead. Actually, we do have horse. We got Epona's and Burning Cack. I could see Adult Lake. I have no idea what the fuck Cola just did with this sword. And Hammer Rocks is nothing, as we suspected. He's gonna peek Valley Crate here. And see it's just stick. Useless hit at this time. Ooh. There was Arnott's last key. He's not going to go to Adult Lake. He's going to... Is he going to go Forest? Okay. Oh, he didn't go Forest. We're good. Oof. Probably
I am back.
Oh, welcome back. So, as we suspected, all hammer checks are dead.
Yep.
We thought Cola was gonna go Forest, but he just headed to Ice.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to commit to something as long as Forest this late into a seed for your strength 3 of all things. No, I think the only thing you could probably think of in a scenario is, okay, Strength 2 is definitely not locking Strength 3 in any capacity at this point. So, knowing GTG is dead, the Strength just has to be non-Strength locked somewhere. And are you going to do Overworld, or are you going to go to a place that you've already been to before, turning in Letter? It's just the wrong age here. It's just unfortunate. Makes a lot of sense though to go to dungeons at that point. Nobody's finished either, so considering what he's done already in this route, once somebody finishes, I think he's a lot more likely to go to domain diving.
Right.
If he takes into account, okay, I did this, and I would have been go mode at this point, and this is X minutes ahead of me. Now, what could they have possibly skipped that I did already? And at that point, I think you can kind of do the math and figure it out, but obviously would rather be first place and not have to metagame like that, but I think that's like the one thing he could probably take away from it.
Metagaming is always rough, because sometimes you'll just metagame yourself out of the right choice.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think he's going to last location anyway, so there's no harm.
True. As Goomba hits up Baronade. He'll be their last boss before Gannon.
At the same time, though, you can see this bow at Fountain. If somebody finishes literally right now, he could think, oh, okay, it's in forest the whole time. Sure. And then just pull the trigger there. So, yeah, kind of like you were saying, you have to be careful, but... So one of the only times you can really effectively metagame is in a 1v1 scenario where you know 100% what the other player is going to do because you played against him so much. But aside from that, I mean... knowing what the community does at large in large races like this is pretty helpful, but I'm not sure if that's even going to help him find the third strength.
This one blue that one blue portal there in Jabu Jabu is always a pain, because if you go at it at an angle, it takes the time to very, very, very slowly turn you until you're facing Naruto before taking you out. So if you hit it at just the wrong angle, you can spend an extra 5-10 seconds there in just that portal.
It's a bit of a pain in the ass.
But yes, VXR, he skipped domain diving. And he wouldn't have been punished for it either if it wasn't for long shot and light trial.
Yeah, he would have been done 20 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, easily.
Or something like that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely last location for him. You full cleared fire. Luckily, boss key was pretty early in water. That's right, Goomba has Furor's Wind set up in Gannon's castle. She's going to go to forest and then Furor's Wind into the castle.
Yeah, Goomba's going to be finished by the time Cola even sets foot in forest.
Mm-hmm.
I would be kind of amazed if Goomba could actually pull off in first place here, considering he got hookshot so late.
Mm-hmm. Still, he's doing really well.
Yeah, I mean, all the other items you can pretty much get if you don't have hookshot. It's only a couple things that are actually blocked by it, and it's a fairly fast seed, so it's not too surprising. But the lead of Colon just it just evaporating instantly. It's just hard to take.
Mm-hmm. It is rough. Alright. Oh, Cola going for the nope. He's saying forget it and going for bomb jumps.
Oh, well, there you have it. First place, Kirox, with a time of 2:24:43. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Wow. So, Goomba definitely going to be first in the restream, though.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Somebody who I would consider one of my rivals, at least for random settings. We just had so many close finishes, and he knocked me out of the last bracket, so... Hats off to him.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Time to remember to stay hydrated, and I'll be right back after I grab something to drink.
All right. Yeah, the Aeronaut not too far behind everyone else either. Really only missing the boomerang from Skull Kid. Definitely knows where it is, just hasn't quite gone for it because, again, limiting age changes, exactly what you want to be doing in Rando.
Alright, I'm back. Are not fighting. Oh, just finished with Morpha. And Goomba in the big Gannon fight.
Cole again, the Iron Boots, and a bit frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna dip water, probably full clear it.
Yep.
Might be thinking, what if it's just in water? What if it's just strength 3 water for light trial long shot?
Mm-hmm. Required double dip water.
I mean, that'd be super bad for him too, because if he had gotten the irons earlier, I think he would have gone in here. So he's got to be kicking himself right now. Because he's only gone to Way of the Heroes and Dungeons prior to needing long shot, pretty much. There's almost nothing else that he did. He was pretty thorough getting that hook shot at the hour 6 mark. But just, 30, 40 minutes ahead, probably ahead of most people. Meanwhile, Goomba finishing.
Yep, as I said, easy, less than 2.5 hours. 2:29:09. And he snipes Daredevin, who ends in 2:29.14 for third place.
Yeah, nice snipe for Goomba. And the second place isn't too bad. I mean, only being behind by about 5 minutes. I mean, Chickens comes to mind. That's 3 minutes. And then had he gotten the hook shot at any point earlier, it could have been 2-3 minutes earlier, and he would have gotten it. So, can't be doing too bad about it. And welcome to Goomba joining us for an interview. GG's.
GG.
I'm really confused.
Okay.
I'm actually really confused. I was expecting to be like half an hour behind after finding out a hookshot. Like, what happened?
So, funny story about that. Well, not so much funny as it is sad for Cola. Cola got the hookshot at an hour 6.
Well ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, and right now he's missing Longshot because he never got the Zora's Domain strength and found Hammer at Water Trial.
Oh.
Yeah.
So, I think, if anything, the strengths of Seed were kind of in mean locations. If you do a long child segment like you and Erwin and Aeronaut did, it's probably the best approach, I think, to this seed, just in terms of where they are. Goron City Maze, Big Pose, and Domain Dive, assuming you don't skip Domain, but...
Yeah, no, I knew that my best chance at still getting a good placement in this race was if people missed one of the strengths, or if the other two bows were like in Bear and GTG or something.
Yeah.
We only ever saw another bow in Jabu.
Okay. Well, that's easy enough.
Yeah, I think it was on Compass Chest or something, but kind of bailing Cola out a little bit. But yeah, there's
I believe it was either on Boomerang Chest or it was on the Bubble Room Chest. I can't remember which one.
Kind of surprisingly too, you're the only person on Restream that did chickens. I was a little surprised by that. Not in terms of like doing it, but
I've told myself that if I spawn in CAC as a child, I'm just gonna do chickens immediately every time.
Yeah.
Like,
No,
there's
a lot
a
of
chance
sense.
you get a hint for it later and it'll feel kind of bad, but I don't know.
It's kind of a coin flip at that point, right? Like, when are you going to be back there? It's your child spawn. I mean,
Like, I figure my spawn is right next to chickens, and like, assuming I don't get a hint for it at some point, I'm gonna end up doing chickens at some point anyway, most likely, so may as well just do it now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you see a lot of runners, especially in Season 4 settings, do chickens almost every time, especially in like the tournament bracket that we've seen, but weekly settings with Deku open, I can see skipping it or doing it. I mean, but if you start in CAC, it makes a lot of sense to just do it.
Yeah, with close Deku, I feel like you almost have to do chickens a lot of the time, because you have so few Sphere Zero checks that it's super likely to have an item.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, how did you enjoy the seed?
I actually thought it was a pretty interesting seed. I'm just really sad that I didn't get to do hookshotless Twin Rova. I definitely would have if I had Ferrari's Wind.
Yeah. A little risky to go for it, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was a super cool seed. It had a lot of interesting stuff going on. I just managed to do everything in Child 1 except for the spot that had the hookshot, which was a little unfortunate. But
7-minute bomb roll, that was pretty sick to see. That was really cool.
Yeah. I was tempted to just hop in bottom of the well like immediately, but I figured I should go to London first, like a smart person, and hey, explosives and lullaby. Okay, let's do bottom of the well at 5 minutes. Why not?
It's kind of hard to not. I mean, you start with Song of Storms, you just get Zeal and Explosives. Yeah, it's just so many checks for 5 minutes or so, or less sometimes, so...
Yeah. I was getting increasingly irritated until I got the Rudos letter in the very last chest, but at the same time I knew, like, nobody's gonna skip bottom of the well in this seed, so it doesn't really matter.
I guess the only other thing of note, at least for this seed, was the openers that you guys did. Goomba Aeronaut and Erwin, y'all did like a 50-minute child one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I felt with the River Way of the Hero and the bomb bag in the graveyard box, it made a lot of sense to just stay child for a really long time. My only regret is after I got the slingshot in Lake Hylia and doubled back to check the target and Way of the Hero Lost Woods, I really should have dipped into Goron City there and done the 2 checks. That was definitely a mistake. It might... Well, actually, I had the strength from Zora's Domain already, so I wouldn't have missed that. So yeah, I think that would have saved me a lot of time if I had done that. But aside from that, I feel like
I definitely agree with that. I mean, it's stapling onto Lost Woods is not bad at all. It's pretty high density for the time it takes for those checks, and assuming you have the items for them, I mean, it's right there.
Yeah.
So,
like, my logic was I don't need to do these checks right now because I'm gonna have to come back for Skull Kid at some point anyway. But then, of course, those check locked Zarya songs, so.
Then once you get the hovers and Deku, like, at that point, it kind of seems... Like, did you think it was a jet seed at any point?
I would say it was a jet seed.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that, but, I mean, just, like, in terms, like, at what point would you have considered it, okay, now it's a jet seed?
Probably when I got Din's Fire in Adult Cac after DC.
Yeah.
Then I started to feel like it would probably end up being a really fast seed.
Especially those foolish hints, right? Fortress, GTG, DMT.
Yeah, I was really hoping the third one would be Gerudo Valley.
Yeah, I mean...
But no, Fortress and GTG Baron are always nice to get because that just cuts off a large portion of checks you don't have to worry about.
Yeah. It's also really nice getting both of them, because, like, when you get GTG Foolish, you always have to worry about, okay, am I really gonna hike all the way over there just for the rooftop chest and horseback archery? Is that a thing I'm doing this seed? Like, you never want to do that.
Going to GTG with nothing, like, kind of, those kinds of situations can get a little bit rough, especially with, like, an early opponents, but not necessarily the case in this one.
Yeah, I feel like GTG is like, well, aside from the Dark Link meme, I feel like GTG is like the biggest like thing that keeps haunting me in Season 4. Like, I keep getting screwed over by GTG, either by going too early and not having enough items, or putting it off too long.
Yeah.
And it's nice to have it just ruled out right off the bat.
It just takes like a awkwardly placed bow or something locked behind strength 2 and you go there with strength 1. Like, it's super easy to just kind of get screwed, like you're saying, by GTG.
Yeah. If anyone watched the bracket match yesterday, PKR versus Fanta, that's a pretty prime example of exactly that. One went without strength 2, missed the light arrows, and one went without iron boots and missed the Kokiri sword. Like,
oof.
Yeah, especially if it's like GTG Way of the Hero, right? Like, when are you putting that off for? Like, when do you pull the trigger for that necessarily? It varies depending on the seed, of course, but like, even when it's hinted, like, it can get super awkward.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think this was a pretty nice seed. Went reasonably well, other than the hook shot.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same camp as you. Like, I'm kind of surprised there wasn't like something closer to 2 hours. I mean, if you had like, God moded the seed, then then maybe, but
I
even
was
then, it's
kind of expecting someone to finish around like 210 or so, maybe 215.
yeah.
Honestly, we thought Cola was on pace to finish it before 2 hours.
Oh, he was so close. Just that strength.
Yeah, if the long shot wasn't behind Gold Gauntlets, then it becomes a very different story.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with the hammer bait in the castle as well.
Oh, Kuiper, did you never find either of them? Also, welcome Kuiper with a rating party of 11. But yeah, no, it's that strength 3. If he hadn't skipped that strength 3, Cola would have finished in right at 2 hours.
Yeah. It's a super tempting skip if you
Mm-hmm.
end up in domain really late. I can't really fault anyone for doing that.
It's like one item away, and Gannon's his way the hero. Still hadn't gone. Kind of put it off for a while too. Like, yeah.
It's one of those skips where I'm always super tempted to do it, and every time I don't do it, I feel like I just get garbage, and every time I do skip it, I miss an item there. And obviously that's just confirmation bias, but it does feel that way.
Kind of the same sort of thing with GTG, and you can just get thrown for a loop there as well. But
yeah,
it's always good because if you don't do it before Jabu, when are you ever going to go back? Right? You're not in a great position after Jabu necessarily, especially if you get the Fairy Fountain, which is what we saw Cola do.
Yeah, I'll sometimes skip it if I'm like only missing one item. And I can do Jabu first, and I've already done the fountain as adult with Ice Cavern or something, then I might do Jabu and then go back out for the domain checks after.
Mm-hmm.
But
oh, he's headed to domain. Sorry, it's the first new thing in a while.
Question is he gonna finish, or is he gonna just quit? I could see both happening. I wouldn't blame him either. He's basically full creep and seed.
I'd be really tempted to forfeit in a situation like that. I would not blame anyone.
But yeah, Cola was the only one on a restream that got the first hook off of Big Rolling Goron before the 2 hour mark. Actually, when you consider that, you finished really fast after getting your first hook shot.
I mean, yeah, I had like half a spirit, half a shadow, and really quick water and Jabu, and that's basically it. Like, it's not that much time.
That nice early boss key in water. Always great to see.
Well, not always. If I'm still looking for items, I would honestly rather the boss key just be in the river chest so the game makes me full clear the dungeon and I don't have to think about it too much, but...
That's completely fair.
That's fair.
But yeah, when I'm in go mode and I'm just finishing up, I'd rather just kill Morph and be done with it as quickly as possible. Kind of same deal with Fire Temple. If I'm still looking for items, I really just want the Fire Boss key to be in the Megaton Hammer chest every seed.
Kirox. Kirox in chat. Oh, I got that hook shot in 17 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Like, if I swing by Goron City when I check the slingshot target, which again I really should have, that was definitely a mistake on my part, then I probably shave 10-ish minutes off all the random garbage checks I did looking for a hookshot.
Yeah, I would say so.
Because I think at that point, like, my go mode effectively would have been Din's Fire, which is really stupid. No, it would have been the Gold Gauntlets of Goron City, I guess.
Cola, even having the memes prepared for this exact situation.
As Aranot enters the Gannon fight.
He had a scene loaded that said, "How could this happen?" It had like a picture of his stream, like one of those like motivational posters, you know. Actually,
now that I'm thinking about it, if I got the hookshot early, I'm not sure when I would have gone up to Goron City to get the gold gauntlets. I guess I would have... Probably what would have happened is I would have gone to Gannon's castle, gotten the hammer, and then tried to chase the hammer and gotten them on the way there. I guess.
By checking maze.
I'm not sure. Something like that, probably.
It's just super likely with all the strength locations that you get 2 of them, and then the third one's just, when do you go do overworld? Like, do you do between dungeons? Like, your sequencing really matters at that point.
Okay, see, so that's what happened to Kirox. He got the hammer and then did maze before he went into Fire Temple, and that was his strength 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably about what would have happened to me as well. So it sounds like Kirox's route is basically what mine would have been if I did Goron City early.
Yeah, I think so.
It's looking like it.
But yeah.
Erwin has everything he needs, but the... Yeah. He just finished.
Aeronaut on Gannon's.
Yep.
Yeah, like, I knew my best bet was people missing a strength, because, like, none of them are terrible, but all 3 of them are slightly awkward.
When you need all of them, that's what the real kicker in the seed.
Yeah. Like, even the Big Po's one, like, yeah, the game gives you a free Big Po bottle, but it's tempting to not hand it in and just play Nocturne out of Temple at a time. I think I am going to head out, though. Go eat dinner. Getting kind of hungry.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of ran out of questions for you. Sorry. But
yeah, I think I've said everything I really had to say about the siege, so...
That's our so, hey.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for the interview. It's good to hear your side.
Thank you for racing.
Thanks for having me. It was fun. Thanks for commentating and all that. Yeah. Catch you later.
Yeah, see you again. And just as we say goodbye to Goomba in the commentary booth, the Aeronaut has finished in 12th place, 246.50. We'll see if he wants to join for interview. And also, meanwhile, Cola getting this long shot.
Dan Forrest Wind, as Erwin has all his medallions, is heading up to Gannon. That's just tough luck for Cola.
Yeah, that sucks. It just... the worst feeling in the world. You're 1 item away, you have 1 unfulfilled wave hero. You even find an item that unlocks things, it's just not the right one, and somewhere dumb overworld that you could have just skipped entirely, right? It's just not a great situation to be in. I even ran a seed like this yesterday, and well, I went to this. I went to the right area, just as the wrong age, and kind of the same sort of situation.
It's always tough, but he's getting the Gorse Knight, which is nice.
Yeah,
oh no!
You gotta have the skill. You gotta have the routing, but you also gotta have the luck. That is a portion of Rando.
Oh no. He's having a rough time now.
Aeronaut will not join us for an interview, sadly.
Okay.
That's right.
That he's a bit too tilted and that he passes, so it's fine.
Understandable. I mean, that hook shot, it's just... if you don't get it early, it's a lot like the Strength 3 for Cola. If you don't get it early, when do you go back? And, I mean... we got our answer over the 2-hour mark, so... Actually, the exact same kind of a timing for Cola in Strength 3.
Mm-hmm.
The only other time he was there was under 2 hours.
Yep. We should have all of our racers here on Restream finished before 3 hours, though.
Yeah, probably. I mean,
Everyone is in the Gannon fight, and Cola's about to be there.
Yeah, and I really don't see Cola taking 10 minutes to kill Gannon.
No, it'll be a sub 3.
Yeah.
Though all 4 are finishing sub 3 on the restream. Not too bad. Not too bad.
That's actually a pretty good seed. Don't.
It's just a symptom of jet seeds. Like, you miss one thing or do one thing out of the wrong order, and you lose a lot of time, a lot of places. I mean, we've already had 15 people finish now, and if this were not a jet seed, if it was like a 230, 240-ish kind of for first, like, a little bit more palatable for the racers.
No one ever found the third bow. It's probably just chilling in forest.
That's what I would assume as well. Just a bowlock bow or something. Second bow is in Jabu on the compass chest.
That was your first one? Wow.
I can see it. I mean, you only really need to do Shadow, and it just means you did Bowless Shadow, probably? If that's the case. Or you get... Or you just put off Shadow, I guess? And you do Deku DC, Spirit...
Bowless Shadow. Sounds right. As
yeah.
was being very close to finish. There it is. 17th place, 252.30. Did Cola forget to pick up the key? Cola forgot to pick up the key from Light Temple. Oof.
Alright, at least you got rewards from lights, right? Could have been worse.
Oh.
With no prelude, because it's on OT. Oof. It does have Minuet, though. We'll be able to still sub 3 this, but it'll be a lot closer than it should be, that's for sure.
Right, because he save quit to adult spawn at OGC Ferry.
Yep.
No, we have Erwin finished now. Oof. This has been very rough seed.
Question of questions. Will Cola still finish within the top 20?
Probably not.
Oh.
Yeah, if I had to guess, Colo probably won't be joining for an interview, but I guess we'll see.
So,
Erwin will, though.
oh?
Hi, welcome, Erwin.
Hey,
Yeah. GG's, everyone.
Yeah, GG's.
thank you.
So, what did you think about that one?
Oh, that hook shot.
Yeah.
That was the hardest item to find for me.
Like,
That was literally my last check almost.
yeah, I believe it. I mean, GTG and Fortress both foolish. There's really not a ton of checks. And DMT
Yeah.
is dead, too. Yeah, it was like that and the third strength, whichever one that was. I mean, kind of nasty strength locations, right?
Well, when I got my strength 2 in Goron Maze, that was cool because I knew that Bighorn Sword was just next to it. I was hoping, please give me strength 2. Oh, strength 2, yes.
Let me just lift up this rock. It's so straightforward.
I can now lift boulders with relative ease.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
Nice reference, though.
And then the Big Po, it even gave you a Big Po bottle too. Like,
Yeah.
as long as you don't put off domain diving, which is hard to see, but Cola just, he did everything right this seed. Even went to Gannon's sub 2 hour and had 5 meds and just found Hammer and Water Trial, and it just kind of spiraled downward from there. But both Arnott and Goomba, as well as you, did a 50-minute child like opener.
Yeah, Chad gave a lot of item.
Mhm.
And yeah, with Lost Woods, Way of the Hero, and Zoa River, that was hard to do a small first child.
All right, welcome to Cola here.
Hey,
GG's.
what's up?
Hey, Cola.
GG.
732.
Man, that was kind of unfortunate.
Oh,
Yeah, not great. Not great.
yeah, that strength 3 really trolled you.
Yeah, I think actually what pushed me to skip it in the first place was, ironically, the Gannon's Castleway Hero. Because I was like, I'm missing 1.5 items. I've Gannon's Castleway Hero. I've no strength in Way of the Hero location, so I'm probably not searching strength 3. So I'm just gonna skip these checks.
Ouch.
Ouch.
Yeah, it could have been anywhere, right? Like, it could have been in a dungeon. It could have just been overworld. At that point, you were kind of just assuming, right, that it's not strength locked itself.
Yeah, that's because like I had Way of the Heroes and none of my Way of the Heroes included a Strength Way of the Hero, so I was
Yeah.
kind of certain it's not gonna be Strength 3, but it was.
Well, hey, still sub 3.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
At least I didn't go into Forest Temple.
Yeah, that would
Yeah,
have
me
been
neither.
real bad, but thankfully you didn't. But
Yeah, we thought for a second you were going to, but then you went ice.
Yeah, which wasn't better.
I thought it's a pretty interesting decision that you went straight for the child song and then just skipped Lost Woods, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Went straight for Deku. I mean, it was really just you went straight for progression and Way of the Heroes, and you almost found everything. And
Yeah, it's pretty much
really just
my
strength.
playstyle.
Yeah.
But it kind of tends to backfire a little bit.
Mhm.
Well, aside from the strength, I mean, what did you think of the seed overall? It was pretty nice, right?
I think the seed was pretty nice. Like, if you don't miss the strength, it's gonna be a lot faster.
Oh yeah, if you hadn't missed that strength,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you would have finished in 2 hours.
Yeah, just about.
If you don't miss to do Goron Child City 2, I mean, Hookshot was literally my go mode because I knew there was an item behind Saria's song in Lost Woods, and I knew Ganon's castle was Way of the Hero. And I was missing like only long shots, boomerang, hammer, and the lance. So whatever the items were behind the Way of the Hero, I knew where to go.
Yeah, we saw a lot of mitigating of age changes. I think it's just like a playstyle that we've seen more and more of, especially in Season 4.
Mhm.
So I think the long child section makes a lot of sense. But I also really liked Kolo's route in general. Like, it's probably what I would have done. Go adult around 20, 25 minutes, give you 3 song, go to Cat Graveyard, see what happens. I mean, makes a lot of sense either way, I think.
Yeah.
But what also is a lot more popular nowadays is skipping domain. We've seen that more than a few times, even in the S4 tournament, is just people hate domain. Like,
It's kind of slow, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie, if the scale wasn't in the river, I would have skipped domain.
I just didn't go to the main after river. I went to Kokiri Forest to get like Mido's house and Deku Tree.
Mhm.
So I missed out on the main at that time, and then I only went back for the main once I could do Jabu, and at that point I was just missing Longshot and potentially Iron Boots or Gold Scale. So yeah.
I guess once you found Cackway the hero, did that change how you played Kolo?
Not really.
Oh,
Like,
the last one was CAC, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was back for Iron Boots for some
Yeah,
reason.
on 10
Which
scales.
was the fifth way of hero, because I only saw 4. I saw Gannon's, I saw Zora's River, I saw Lost Woods, and Kek.
Graveyard.
Graveyard.
I never saw a Graveyard.
I don't remember where it was, but that was my second way of the hero.
Okay.
Might have been Upper River.
I'm pretty sure I saw that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure then. I think
Or
mostly
maybe
everyone.
maybe next to Deku Tree.
Yeah, that
Oh,
could be.
yeah.
Like, I ran past those, I just ran straight into Deku.
That was one of my first hints, so yeah, that possibly be here.
Yeah, it would make a lot of sense.
Overall. But no, Cole, you were the first on Restream to get the hook shot.
Yeah, that's nice, because I skipped Lost Woods so early on. I went back once I found Lost Woods as way of hero, and then I found nothing in Lost Woods, but I went to Garden City instead.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys like Open Deku?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It kind of pushes you too much to Kokiri early on.
I can see that. Yeah, it kind of changes a little bit how you route the early game too, just in terms of there's a lot more Sphere Zero available, and you even start with Deku Shield and Sticks and Natsu. You don't really have to like rupee route, right? Like it's just you get like 20, 40 bucks and you're good for a while.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And then I guess my only other question is, what do you two think of the bridge condition? Do you like 4 meds, kind of how we've been doing the weeklies, or kind of a fan of 2 or 6?
I would rather be a fan of completely changing the win condition personally, but
Hey, I'm right
Like-
there with you.
I would do something like 3 medallion bridge and then 3 stone Gannon's boss key. That would be interesting.
Yeah, but I prefer 4 meds compared to 2. But yeah, three medallions and 3 stone would be interesting.
Adds a lot more value to the stone dungeons. Kind of completely changes kind of a long-standing like routing like knowledge. It's like you don't want to go to stone dungeons if you don't have to, right?
Mhm.
Like it would be kind of interesting to see how that changes evaluations and sequencing. But yeah, it's fully in the camp of 6 meds is kind of boring. That's why I play random settings.
Yeah.
I should play more random settings.
Yeah, you can get 69 Skull Bridge sometimes. We've had that happen
Yeah.
3 times.
I think one time Pappy Grunts rolled a seed with 100 skulls for the bridge.
Yeah, that can also happen. I mean, there's a whole bigger range, bigger floor, bigger ceiling in terms of what can happen there. So, for better or for worse.
See, I would be interested in watching 100 skulls seed because I enjoy skull routing.
It's fine as long as Skull Sanity's not on.
Yeah.
Oh god!
Then it's a train wreck.
Oh god!
That's all the questions I had, though.
Okay.
Well then, if that's the case, I really want to thank you all for participating in this race. I also really want to thank the Emo Soda and Mad Monk for commentating on this. And we definitely need to thank the trackers who are keeping all this in shape for everyone to not lose their overview. So thanks to Chaos, Exidu, Prince Sidon, and Psy. Yay!
Also, shout out to our restreamer.
Wow. Well, if you can't get enough of Zelda speedruns, wait, let me just check it up. In an hour we have Ocarina of Time Championship Series, and an hour after that we have the Wind Waker Randomizer, and another hour and a half after that we have Minish Cap Randomizer. So it's a lot of rando today if you want to see that.
It's Rando Day.
Yeah, it really is. I think we could probably rate Bossage NL today. He is participating in this race, and his stream title literally says Zelda OOT Randomizer, 3rd Standard EU Weekly, only goal is to finish, and he has 0 followers and 1 viewer.
Oh no!
Yeah, let's give him some followers. That sounds like a good plan for me.
Best plan I've ever had. He's currently missing strength 3.
Oh no!
Oh.
I wonder which strength it is.
That's a good question, yeah.
Okay.
Oof.
Okay. I wish every one of you a great day. Spread all the ZSR love and have fun with the next restream here on ZeldaSpeedRuns.
Yep.
See you
Have a
later.
nice day.